It's been more than a year since the murder of George Floyd shined a spotlight on law enforcement agencies across the nation. 10 Investigates has spent months tracking excessive force complaints, uncovering a lack of tracking. If we had that data, experts say it could lead to better training. Some departments aren't waiting. In part 4 of our series, Excessive, 10 Investigates looks at one local agency that now has new training in place in hopes to get use of force statistics down.
Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get your hands! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Okay! Stop! Stop! Okay! I didn't do anything!
Instead of just put the knife down, it's, why don't you just tell me what's going on?
It's a classroom that would be filled with law enforcement officers.
Cover and distance, cover and distance.
From the Tampa Police Department.
This is a constantly evolving process that they're going through.
But today,
what can we do to diffuse things?
The students are our 10 Investigates producer and me.
We need to recognize when, if we're barking the same order over and over and over again and we're not getting a response, when do we need to shift gears?
Learning all about new training used by Tampa Police.
ICAT training is a way of approaching and dealing with persons in crisis.
The training put in place by then Chief of Police Brian Dugan and Mayor Jane Castor.
Hands up! No show!
After weeks of protest in the cities and across the nation sparked by the murder of George Floyd.
I think that especially in this day and age, the need for this type of response and this type of training is very important. I think that the mayor and the chief recognized that trying to standardize this, along with a lot of other agencies, was a positive.
According to its website, ICAT is a training program that provides first responding police officers with the tools, skills, and options they need to successfully and safely defuse a range of critical incidents. According to the site, 7 agencies in Florida have added this type of training to their curriculum. Tampa Police being the first one in the Tampa Bay area.
Can they compose themselves or keep themselves composed even when you're tap dancing on that last nerve?
The training takes officers from the classroom to potential real-life scenarios.
I bet you it would go up and fire really good.
Calm down, just calm down and talk about what's happening.
Which we also took part in.
Come on, shoot me! Shoot me! I don't want to go outside. I don't want to talk!
Teaching participants how to handle a situation where use of force may not always be necessary.
We need to focus on getting the baby out of here right now.
We know that 1,776 officers have been found guilty of using force when not necessary in the state. That's according to state data. But in 6 months, 10 Investigates found some agencies not reporting sustained cases to the state, which means ultimately the number are higher than what's documented.
It's things that we've been using maybe under some different terminology or just approaching it from a slightly different angle for years. So it wasn't a dramatic shift for us, which was positive, I think, in a lot of ways. But this just packaged it in a way that if it made officers buy into it or understand it a little bit better. Good.
Jared Dowds, who trains the officers, says some officers have already taken what they've learned and used it out in the field, which he calls a win.
What can we do to help him? We're not just here to enforce the laws. He really legitimately may need some help.
This is something that helps all the officers to look at other options. If there's one situation that gets resolved better as a result, doesn't that work out better for everybody?
And we know that other agencies like St. Pete Police have had trainers with the ICAT program at their agency, and this is a type of training we should be seeing pop up a lot more around the Bay Area at different departments.